This is the Reid Quest 1, the brand new 2024 model, and today I'm going to be giving you my honest review. Hey guys, my name's Andy and welcome to the channel. So I'm going to quickly go over the specs and features of the Reid Quest 1, then I'm going to take you on a test ride with me, and then I'm going to give you a summary at the end. I'm going to talk about if I think it's any good, who it's for, what it can be used for, if it's worth the money. Now this is not a sponsored video, but I would like to thank Reid for lending me this bike to do the test and review, and they've also been kind enough to provide a promo code to help you get a bit of money off this, which I'll go over later when I talk about the price and everything that's included with it. So in my opinion, it's probably what you'd consider to be an entry-level bike. So its full retail price is $1,600, but you'll have to check with Reid at the time that you're watching this video, see what it currently is. It's fairly basic, but because it's Reid, I expect it to be really reliable and quality parts, just quite basic, you know, nothing too fancy. So we'll kick things off with the motor. We've got a rear hub motor. It's a Bafang 250 watts, so that means it's road legal in every state in Australia. Now Bafang for this sort of price is pretty good, to be honest. Like obviously you've got brands like Bosch, but you're going to be paying thousands more for one of those motors. So Bafang 250 watt motor. We've got Shimano cassette and derailleur back here, 7 gears. The shifter is not Shimano, but everything at the business end is here. So moving on to the tyres, we've got big chunky tyres, almost like mountain bike tyres. I think the idea is it can cover sort of all terrains, like it can be for a road bike, but you can also take it on trails or sort of off-road a bit at the weekends or something if you wanted to. It comes with the rack here, which is quite good that it's included. You'd expect sometimes you have to buy that separately, but it's already included. Full length mud guards as well. So this is the battery here. It's internal, it's sealed. It's a 10.4 amp hour battery, which translates to, I think, 374 watt hour, because it's 36 volt. For this sort of price point, again, that's pretty much standard. It's not like you're not going to be able to go and ride all day on it. I already know that without even sort of testing it. I'm going to test how many kilometers I get out of it, because often on the website, and this isn't just for Reid, this is every manufacturer, often the range that they say it is, you sort of have to ride it quite conservatively in order to get that range. Now, I don't know about you, but I usually whack it on the maximum assistance setting, which in this case is 5. So we will just go on to the controller now. So to turn it on, you just hold this button for 2 seconds. Comes on there. So we've got obviously your speed, your distance you've travelled. You can reset that if you want to measure like how far your trip is. So you just control the power assist in there, 1 to 5. You've got your battery there. You can flick through a couple of different things there, how long you've been riding for. One thing it is missing is it doesn't give you the expected range like left based on your current battery, but when I have used bikes with that feature on the controller, it's not always been the most accurate, so perhaps it's not such a big miss. In terms of weight, it's a lot lighter than some others I've ridden, that's for sure. It's not the lightest, but it's definitely not the heaviest, so I was quite happy with the weight. On my bathroom scales, that's 23.7 kilos. It's light enough, I think, to be able to sort of lift up and put it in the boot of your car, but you probably would need to use both hands. So coming down here, we've got the Zoom 80mm suspension on the front forks. Comes with a bell, and then it also comes with the front light and the back light, which is integrated. I think that's fairly standard these days, but some bikes, particularly the more budget friendly bikes, don't always come with lights, and then you have to get them separately, and then you know they won't be wired into the battery, so then you've got to worry about them charging them up and you know running them on a separate battery system. So these will all run off this. And yeah, I think that's about it. So anyway, enough of me waffling, let's get out on a test ride. So let's go. It's a beautiful day in Melbourne. I'm thinking I probably should have worn shorts. So we'll see how we go. Hopefully the electric motor is good enough that I won't break out into a sweat. Let's go. All right, here we are guys down at St Kilda Beach on a lovely mid-September day in Melbourne. First thing you notice when you ride the Quest is how smooth it is. And by that I sort of mean how responsive it is. Like, you don't get the jolt that you do with some bikes when you first head off. Or if you've sort of taken a break from pedaling and then you start pedaling again, You don't get that sort of jolt that you sometimes get. At first I thought, oh, maybe that's because there's not, you know, much power in the motor, but I don't think that's the case because I've not noticed the motor wanting at any time. I've been going up and down hills. From memory, there's been maybe one, maybe two hills where I've actually had to stand up to pedal. So there's enough power there for a 250 watt motor. It's about what you'd expect. It's just really smooth. So I think that's like the sort of, like I said, this is the 2024 model. So maybe this is just modern e-bikes now, even at sort of entry level, you're getting a smooth ride. Obviously the magnets and the controller are doing their job. In terms of power, it's pretty good, I think, especially for this price point. I've just cycled from Flemington Bridge to St Kilda and I've not found it lacking power at all. And as a testament to that, I'm actually wearing jeans right now and I'm really regretting it, but I'm not sweating. So I could potentially sort of travel, I mean, I don't know how far that was, 20k on a sort of summer morning, and go to work or whatever, or go meet my mates at the pub, because I'm not really sweating at all. So yeah, just to give you an idea of use cases, if you wanted to do Uber Eats and you were sort of pedaling around, I don't think you're going to be getting too hot and sweaty. It is only mid-September though. So I've been flicking through the power settings quite a bit. I'm in 5 right now, which is the top speed or the top power setting, power assistance setting, because YOLO. But I have been flicking around. I had it in 3 for a while, which wasn't uncomfortable. You could definitely still feel the assistance, but you did feel like you were sort of doing a bit of leg work yourself. So if you did want to sort of get a bit of exercise, you can do that. And then if you're feeling tired, you can always switch it back onto 5 or the higher power settings. I had it on 3 earlier, and to be honest, it was pretty comfortable. It was an easy ride. And then I sort of got to a hill, flicked it up to 5, and then flicked it down again after I've got over the hill. So yeah, depending on what you're looking for and how much assistance you need or how much work you want to do yourself and how long you want to make the battery last, you'll be able to play around with those settings. Pretty easy to do. You basically, don't get run over here. Definitely just ran a red light. Yeah, so you just sort of, this setting here, you can go right down to 1, and like you can barely feel that assistance now on 1. Take it up to 3, that's comfortable. 4, you can definitely feel it now, and then 5 is, you're like, yeah, that's good. That's the fun setting. So as you can see now, I'm on sort of like a gravel path. These tyres, no problem. Earlier I was just like ducking across the grass. You can do that without having to worry. Obviously it's not like a road bike with like real thin tyres where sometimes you can't do that. So that's a handy feature. Yeah, so I've been trying to kind of think like, where does this e-bike fit? Like, what's it meant to be? Is it supposed to be a, you know, like a food delivery bike? Is it supposed to be a commuting bike? Is it a mountain bike? And I'm finding it hard to put it in a category, which might be the idea. Maybe it is just like an all-round bike, because that's what I'm finding so far. Like last week, took it out on some trails, not like crazy trails, but you know, they were definitely not paved paths. Today I've taken it across the city basically, and then along the beach. So you could use it for that, for going out, going for a morning out. So I'm on a bit of a bumpy path here. The suspension's doing its work, the front suspension. It's hardtail, but obviously it's going to be for the price point. Mate, how nice is it? This is like the first definitely decent day we've had this year, or this start of this year. Mate, this is decent, just cruising along here. I'm like barely pedaling, absolutely cruising. See, I don't actually live too close to the beach, and if I was to come on a regular bike, I reckon I'd be sort of thinking in the back of my mind, shit, I've got to cycle back. Because I'm on this, I'm not actually thinking about that. I reckon this might be ice cream weather, you know. So other than that, the brakes feel good. The gears feel good, to be honest. They don't feel cheap in any way. And these grips are actually all right as well. Like, they're obviously very basic grips, And when I first saw them, I thought, oh, am I going to get uncomfortable hands after a while? But I've done probably, I don't know, about 80k on this bike so far. And to be honest, I haven't thought about the grips at all, which obviously means that they're not bothering me, so can't complain. The saddle's decent enough, nothing fancy. It's fairly wide, so a bit of cushioning. I don't think it'll give you any troubles. Maybe if you were doing Uber Eats for 8 hours a day, you might want to swap the seat out, but then, to be honest, I don't think the battery would last that long anyway, so it's probably not suitable for those long food delivery shifts. Right, I'm trying to find Luna Park, because I've not seen it since before lockdown, so I don't even know if it's still there. Oh, hello. What's that? There it is. This is cool, man. I feel like a tourist again. Like, I've been in Melbourne and Australia for like, I think 11 years now. And it's easy to just sort of get caught up in everyday life and you just forget that you're actually living in like a bloody nice city. And yeah, it's good to just get out and do some touristy stuff every now and then. Am I a tourist? When do you stop being a tourist when you move to a new country? Never. Oh, you're real now. Oh, mate. Do you know what? You slowed down. I was like, oh, what's going on here? Oh, man. And they were watching there. That you sort of nearly gave it away. Oh, man. That was good. Huh? Yeah, it's recording, yeah.
Oh, recording, really?
Yeah.
Another one,
Oh, how did I not see that? And there. Do you know what? I might have even looked at him and just thought it was an ornament.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's good. All right, I'll get out of your shot, mate. Oh, how long you been here? Wow, and how many people you got? All right, sorry for swearing. You on YouTube?
I'm on YouTube,
yeah. Yeah, what's your username?
Barbie fan.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Cool. I haven't got a card, but I'll follow you tonight. That's very good, man. All right, good luck with it. Yeah. Thanks, mate. Cheers. Bye. See ya. I don't know how much that you picked up. That was amazing. That was brilliant. By the way, if you've made it this far in the video, I think it's safe to say you're not absolutely hating this. So hit that subscribe button just down there. It takes 2 seconds. I really do appreciate it. We're on the way to 1,000. Gonna have a little bit of a celebration when we get there. I don't know what I'm gonna do something. And if you could give the video a cheeky little like, it will be much appreciated. So what I did next is what anyone in my position would have done. I went and got myself an ice cream. Now, normally when I'm making these e-bike reviews, I'm constantly thinking about how the bike's performing. Is the motor powerful enough? Is the ride smooth enough? Is the battery lasting long enough? But as I stood there eating my rum and raisin gelato, I realised that for the last hour or so, I hadn't actually thought about any of that. I'd just been, well, having fun. And then it dawned on me that maybe that's what the Quest is all about. And by Quest, I don't just mean this Reid Quest e-bike. I mean the Quest that we're all on, life. Maybe the whole point of it is just to have a bit of fun. Or maybe that's just the adrenaline talking from being scared by a man dressed as a statue. But anyway, back into it. You want me to tell you if I think you should buy this bike. And the short answer is it depends on who you are. Like, for some people, it's not going to be suitable, I'm sorry to say, but for a lot of people, it's actually a really awesome bike for way more reasons than I first thought. And it all comes down to what you're going to use it for. So firstly, who is it not for? And before we get into that, I need to go through the test results from the battery range test that I did. It's a 10.4 amp hour battery, so we already know it's not the biggest. I rode it from completely full to completely empty twice. The first time it was hilly. I had it on assistant setting 5. It was fairly windy. I don't know if you saw, I was sort of off-road, up and down hills, really stopping and starting all the time, changing the camera, taking the mic on and off and all that. So basically, probably the hardest you could make the battery work, right? And I got 42.5 kilometers out of that. I then charged it up to full again, which took 5.5 to 6 hours. And the second time I did it in more sort of normal riding, like fairly flat through the city. I didn't have it on assistant setting 5 all the time, although I did most of the time. Wasn't very windy that time, and that time it actually went 65 kilometers, so that's not bad. That's sort of what you can expect to get from it. So bearing in mind the lower range of 42.5, if you are going to be taking it off-road or whatever, or up into the forest or off on a trail, you probably don't want to go more than sort of a 40k loop unless you're prepared to just get it going by pedal power alone come the end of the journey. But more importantly, that range makes it unsuitable for those of you who want to use it for food delivery, for long shifts, so all day and all night shifts, like 8-hour shifts or whatever. This isn't going to last, right? So if we assume that we do sort of 10 to 12 kilometers per hour, so you're probably looking at sort of 3 to 4 hours on one battery charge. So you need to bear that in mind. So perfect for an evening shift, Friday night or a Saturday night. And as the battery charge is only like 5.5 to 6 hours, you could potentially do a Saturday lunchtime shift, go home, charge it up to full again, and then do an evening shift. So for those of you looking to do it part-time, it's an awesome bike, and it's easy to ride, it's mobile, it's light. But if you're looking to do it full-time, yeah, probably don't get this bike. But as I said, if you're looking to do shorter shifts, you know, like a bit of money on the side, a side hustle, Friday night, Saturday night or whatever, then this is an awesome bike because it's so light and mobile and it feels just like a normal bike. It's a step through, so you haven't got to like cock your leg up and do all that. With a bag on the back, that can be a bit awkward sometimes. It's got that back rack on there, so you could fix a crate to it if you want to put your bag in that. Personally, I prefer to wear the bag so you can get the whole like human suspension thing going on. And then because it's a step through, it's easy to get on and off the bike while keeping your bag level, so you're not spilling like your soup and noodles and shit everywhere, you know? And the fact that it is a step through is actually why I was so keen to test this particular model, because I think it being a step through gives it wide appeal. Like obviously, like for example, my missus is quite small, she can get on and off it fine. Food delivery is suitable for that because it's step through, and also it makes it very suitable for the next group of people that I'm going to talk about. So when I was riding around St Kilda beach the other day, it struck me how many sort of how do I word this, how many older people there were riding around on e-bikes. And yeah, I know what you're thinking, I ain't no spring chicken myself, but I'm talking about like maybe sort of 20 years older than me, who perhaps wouldn't be able to ride 20k to the beach and 20k back again on a regular bicycle. They're able to do that on an e-bike, and otherwise they would have had to, I don't know, just drive there and find parking and drive back, or I don't know, public transport, I don't know. But yeah, with an e-bike, I saw so many sort of people, yeah, just riding around, gone for a day out on a pair of e-bikes. It just opens doors and makes places accessible, you know? And that's again why this, if you are sort of less mobile, it being a step through, you've got your suspension there, which gives it a smooth ride. It's got your rack on the back there that you could fix any sort of bags to or whatever if you want, get a bit of cheese and wine in there, I don't know. It's got big chunky tyres. It's a comfortable ride. If you have to go over grass or anything, you're going to be covered. And it's definitely got enough power to get up and down hills. So for that group of people, it's an amazing bike. But the Reid Quest isn't just for weekend warriors. When I used to work in the city, I used to hate getting public transport into work. It just really got my day off to a bad start. I used to really enjoy cycling into work, but then obviously when I got there, I had to have a shower before I could start my day because I couldn't just spend the day just stinking. I wouldn't have liked it, and my colleagues certainly wouldn't have liked it. But if you don't have showers at your work, then obviously that's not possible. But with an e-bike and with this bike, you can just cruise into the city, no worries at all, you're not even breaking a sweat, get there comfortably, it doesn't tire you out, and it's a little bit of a light exercise to start your day is always a good thing, you know? Now, if you are looking for an e-bike purely for commuting, then maybe you'd look for a bike with sort of thinner tires, like more of a road bike that you're only going to ride on roads. But if you think, oh, well, occasionally on the weekends or whatever, I might go on some trails, I might go off-road, I might want to go like across some parkland or, you know, on some light trails, then this is going to be ideal because it can handle both. It really is an all-rounder. It can get you across the city effortlessly. It can handle trails. It can handle food delivery for the part-timers if you only want to do 3-4 hour shifts. And most importantly, it can handle a bit of fun. And as I said earlier, Reid have kindly provided a promo code. So all you need to do is enter Courier Quest 50 at checkout and you'll receive a further $50 off the price. So that's basically $50 off of any 2024 commuter e-bike. So including the Quest, but there's also a couple of others on there, check them out. It's basically anything electric with the word MY24 in it. Now, as I said earlier, the full retail price is $15.99. Knowing Reid, they quite often have sales, so check out what the current price is now because it might even be lower than that. And then with the promo code, you can get a further $50 off. I'll put a link in the description that will take you right there to the page of this Reid Quest one. You can also pay weekly over the course of a year using Zip Pay, and that works out, even if it's full price, with the promo code, that works out you'll be paying just under $30 a week. And then obviously at the end of the year, well, from the day you get it, it's your bike, you know? Now you probably can find similar bikes to this on eBay or whatever, like the imports. But why I would sort of lean towards buying this bike from Reid or just from a shop in general, right, is because if there's any issues, you can go back into the shop and they'll take care of it. I know for this, you get a lifetime warranty on the frame and a 1-year warranty on the parts. So if that's something that's important to you, then yeah, you should definitely consider it. It's kind of like buying a new car, you know, you get that peace of mind that you're not gonna have to spend any extra for the first year. Like I said, link in the description, go have a look. And whatever e-bike you end up deciding to go for, make sure you are up to date with Australian like road laws surrounding e-bikes. If you're not sure about those, check out this video next. If you're worried about doing the wrong thing, this will make sure you're on top of all the restrictions and laws and you're doing the right thing. Anyway, I have to return this e-bike to Reid soon, so I want to take it for one last blast and I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy.